Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Adam22. Welcome back to another episode of my little news show here. If you could do me a favor, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into just some of the news that has gone down recently. Well, first things first, and it feels crazy to even be talking about this right now because this happened a couple of days ago, so it feels like old news. Well, Skinnyfromthe9 got beat up in a hibachi restaurant. That's right. He was in there enjoying some chicken, steak, other delicacies that were being prepared for him and his lady friend apparently, and a guy approached. We're not showing the video for obvious reasons. YouTube, we want to make money off you today. So a guy approached him, they stood up, and just as they were about to take a photo, the guy snuck him, beat the dog shit out of him. Skinnyfromthe9 has been releasing a whole flurry of different videos that I will spare you from having to watch, in which he sort of justifies the whole situation. He says that the guy did not get away with any of his jewelry, basically says that he would beat me up. He says that in one of the videos. He says, Adam22, I would beat you up, which is hilarious fantasy that this young rapper is now perpetuating upon the public, and just basically talking a whole bunch of shit, getting his words in quickly as possible. He even has a song that I also will spare you that he's previewing, in which he talks about the situation and how he got robbed. My question is, how the hell is this guy still getting robbed? It is honestly pretty insane that Skinnyfromthe9 has taken this many L's in such a short period of time in the rap game and really has no popular music to show for it. Next story. Okay, so some white boy fans were walking around on the boardwalk or something, and they saw Earl Sweatshirt and they wanted to get a photo, and Earl Sweatshirt was not having it. Check out the clip right here.
Come on, Earl.
Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of rappers, they're happy to take photos with you. I know myself, I'm happy to take photos with you if you ask me for a photo. But, you know, I think if a rapper doesn't want to take a photo with you, you just have to respect that. You just got to fall back and be like, okay, it's not the time. Maybe they're on a date with their girl. Maybe they're out with their family. Maybe they're eating. There's all kinds of good reasons to not take a photo. If you ask somebody for a photo and they say no, I feel like your reaction should just be like, all right, it's cool, man. You know, just leave it at that. Don't whip your phone out and try to do a Snapchat with them in it or anything like that. Well, Earl Sweatshirt really was not having it. He was pissed off. He smacked the guy's phone out of his hand. And I agree, you know, this is probably an overreaction. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? I mean, it's his personal space. If you're filming him without his consent and it's super annoying, I can't blame him for reacting like this, because fans can be super, super extra about this. And it especially bothers me because I feel like I'm so nice about taking photos most of the time that when I do turn one down, there's usually a really good, obvious reason. And when fans are disrespectful about that, it can be really, really annoying. So I understand exactly how Earl Sweatshirt felt. Vince Staples also got into it and pointed out that, you know, it's like, you think it's bad they didn't want to take a photo with you? I mean, these are real people who have real emotions, and you could really get your shit rocked. You know, that's basically the point that I think he's trying to get across here. It's like, you know, if you see a rapper, realize that they're not just an entertainer, they're also a man. And as a man, they might want to beat the shit out of you. Next story. Cardi B is being dragged. There's a video of her from her Instagram Live in which she actually talks about drugging and robbing men. Now, this is a very strange thing for her to want to disclose. I'm not sure exactly why she thought this would be a good idea, but check out this clip real quick.
You gotta go to a good studio and you gotta put in that bread. I did it with my money. So for a bitch to say that I don't motherfucking deserve it because I don't put in no fucking work, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them.
It is at this moment that I just remember that I'm actually wearing off-white for the first time in my life. I don't know why, but I was at the store the other day and I decided, why not? Let's fuck around. Let's buy a $400 sweatshirt. Also, boom! Drip. Big drip. I don't know what got into me. Anyway, Cardi B, she's running around talking about drugging and robbing guys, and people are pissed. There's a hashtag going around, hashtag surviving Cardi B, because people are just pointing out that if a guy were to admit to doing something like this, it would be treated completely differently. Can you imagine if any rapper were to come out and say, yeah, we used to date rape drug girls, how people would react? People would be very, very upset about it. I guess that really just raises the question. Is drugging someone for the purpose of having sex with them totally different than drugging someone so that you can then rob them? This is kind of the double standard that seems to be in play here, because I don't believe that Cardi B is making anyone think that she drugged these guys and tricked them into having sex with her, right? That would be weird. Their intent was probably to have sex with her, and she pulled the little switcheroo. Anyway, this is gaining some traction online. To be totally honest with you, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because on one hand, I mean, Cardi B doing that's basically just like her hitting a lick, right? Like, are we supposed to celebrate the lick hitters? That's how I always thought of things. Anyway. Next story. Oh, okay. So I forgot. We got a little bit more news about Cardi B. So she's basically suing 2 vloggers for making inflammatory statements about her. Now, the question is, who are these vloggers? Is it me? Is it Academics? Is it Cuff Boys? Is it the Lael Hansen girl? Nope. It's not them. It's somebody I never even heard of. It's somebody called Latasha K. Apparently, she runs a think piece generator called Unwind with Tasha K. And I guess there's 23 different vlogs in which some terrible things were said about Cardi B, such as the accusation that her baby would be born with intellectual disabilities. So that's one of the claims that Cardi B was offended by. I'm not actually sure what else was said about her by this one particular blogger, but apparently she was also pretty pissed off about someone named Star Marie Ebony Jones. She made unsubstantiated claims regarding the rapper's intake of drugs. She's also said that Cardi B was a prostitute and that she took tons of Molly and cocaine, and she was a prostitute spreading around her herpes. Okay, so apparently none of these things have been confirmed. The herpes thing, the drug stuff, the prostitution thing, I don't know. But Cardi B's pissed off and she's taking these motherfuckers to court. So I'm glad that me and my friends have all been spared. Hopefully we haven't said anything about Cardi B that would upset her. Moving on, next story. Well, for those of you who are waiting for Kanye West to go on the Joe Rogan podcast, apparently it's not going to happen. Joe Rogan was doing a recent comedy show, and there was a little bit of a freestyle session at the end. Some questions were being thrown around, and somebody asked him, when is Kanye West going to come on your podcast? And I know that that's something that, all of us online were waiting for. This is going to be a seminal moment for the culture, just the same way as it was when Elon Musk went on, when the CEO Jack Dorsey of Twitter went on, but probably way, way, way bigger. Well, it turns out that Joe Rogan has lost faith in the idea that this might ever actually happen. Joe Rogan said that Kanye just sort of seemed to be tripping from Joe Rogan's perspective. Basically, he was saying that he wants to create a dictionary full of only positive words, and I guess that Joe Rogan was maybe using that as an example of the fact that Kanye maybe wasn't in the ideal state of mind or the place where he could just sit down and have a sort of rational, humble conversation. I think from my perspective that Joe Rogan, having just done like 5 hours with Alex Jones, that I think he's ready for what Kanye has to offer, to be honest, because I can't imagine anybody being more confusing or rambling or just all over the place than Alex Jones. Kanye, in comparison, sort of a softball interview in a way. But yeah, I guess this isn't going to happen anytime soon, which is a damn shame. But hey, maybe next time Kanye has something to promote, we'll hear from him again. Next story. Okay, so we've been following this whole situation with Lil Uzi Vert closely. We want to see his album released. Well, we have good news. After a couple of days of back and forth on the timeline, on the Instagram story, on the Academics page, where Lil Uzi Vert has been making all kinds of different comments, and DJ Drama, Don Cannon, they've been making their own comments. Well, it seems that finally something has moved. Apparently, Uzi is now being managed by Roc Nation, and they're taking a very active role in making sure that his album can get released ASAP. If you remember, this is sort of the way that Roc Nation was able to behave and act in behalf of Lil Wayne previously, so it's kind of interesting to see them dip in and do the same thing for Lil Uzi Vert. If we actually get the Lil Uzi Vert album, that's all that really matters, and I guess maybe in the future we will hear the exact details about this deal, but as of right now, it seems like Jay-Z has swooped in and potentially saved the day. So I will not bore you with the exact details about every single thing that Uzi and DJ Drama and Don Cannon have been saying back and forth to each other. I'll just stick to the good news. The album is on the way. Next story. Okay, and this is our last story that I'm going to hit you guys with today. And before I even do that, let's just remind you that there's all kinds of new stuff up on this channel. There's a couple of different Adam 22 podcasts that are basically just us hanging out with some wild-ass chicks and just having some really vulgar conversations. And then also I did a live stream where I reacted to the XXL freshman pitches. So that's up too. And then there's also a video of me and Hakeem talking about the whole robbery thing. Anyway, the story I want to talk about, Dr. Dre. He posted up on his Instagram with a photo of him and his daughter, who, by the way, his daughter, good-looking family. He wrote, "My daughter got accepted into USC all on her own, no jail time." So this was a post that he put up, which is obviously a reference to the whole Lori Loughlin scandal, where there was basically some scandalous gym teachers and stuff who were working this whole scam to get kids into really good colleges, and the parents could pay huge amounts of money. He had basically made like $25 million through this whole scam, and a whole bunch of celebrities were implicated in it. Well, the whole thing that's controversial about this that actually caused Dr. Dre to delete his post is the fact that he actually donated $70 million to USC in the guise of a charity thing, which to a lot of people is kind of hypocritical. Like, yeah, obviously your daughter got into the school of your choice because you donated $70 million to the school. Like, if Lori Loughlin had $70 million to spare, she probably could have gone and donated to USC and got that taken care of in the first place, right? Well, apparently Dr. Dre realized that perhaps what he was saying was a little hypocritical. Like, I'm sure that he was able to get his daughter in there on her own, right? But at the same time, as smart as she might be, obviously, if you're Dr. Dre's daughter, it's easier to get into the college of your choice, right? I mean, that's just what I would assume. But, you know, $70 million donation doesn't hurt either. Thank you very much to everybody who watched this. Just so you know, today, as you're watching this, I have a huge day of interviews on the No Jumper channel. So make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on and just tune in, because I'm going to be doing all this good content live all day. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing a live going to this D Savage show. So you're going to want to watch that too. Or basically what I'm trying to tell you is that we're doing tons and tons of live content. So make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss any of it. Thank you very, very much to my editor, Philosophy. Shout out to the whole No Jumper team. Follow No Jumper, Adam22, etc. Follow No Jumper Kendama on Instagram while you're at it. And maybe this Earth turn will actually work. Nah, god damn it.